Welcome to the first of my instructional videos. This is a little bit different in that what I'm going to do today is introduce you to some maps that you're going to be using during a quick write assignment. Quick write assignments, and I'm going to scroll down to the first one, are writing assignments that should end up being about a page long, certainly not more than that, where I ask you to look at something, comment on it, critically evaluate it, or try to synthesize some data. So you'll notice here in Module 2, you notice we're in Module 2 here, and it's going to say, watch the instructional video for the quick write assignment. That's what we're going to do right now. And you're going to look at the web maps. You'll notice that there's a little parentheses. That means there's 3 of them. And so I'm going to scroll down to that part of it. And you're going to notice that I always give you 2 options for the quick writes: a PDF. Some of you may not have Microsoft Word or a Word document. Now, here are the 3 web mapping applications. So I'm going to open up each one of them and introduce you to what you will see. And I'm going to start with the top one. And it will open up in a browser. You can use these on your phone. They don't work quite as well. Now, in this environment, this is a very basic web mapping application. And I want you to get used to 3 buttons or tabs here. The first of which is the legend one. Okay, that's the legend button. And then we have the layers button, and we have the information button or details button. You also notice here, by the way, there is a zoom in and zoom out option. Now, what you can do here, and the quick write assignment is going to ask you to look at a single country within a region and explore characteristics of its population. So in this map, one of the advantages you have is, let's say we want to look at India. Okay, so I'm going to type in India and hit enter, and it brings me to India. Now, what I can do then is what you'll see here, if I look at the legend, and again, all I did was click on legend, it's going to show me world population estimate 2016, and this is actually, the purple is a level of population in that area. So how many people, if you will, darker to lighter, high population counts to low population counts. It's really a relative value. What you can also do, though, is I'm going to click on the layers tab, and I'm going to look for the total population. I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice that a new layer is added. If I go to the right and I click on expand, it will actually give me the legend for that layer. Population in 2015 in millions. What I can see there is that India falls into this highest category, and if I click on it, it will give me some information about it. Okay, some information about India, and again, estimated population on where I clicked was about 4,885 people live in that location, that specific point. All right, now, again, all of these I can contract or compress those that way. The other thing, though, that I can do again is I'm going to go to a different one, and in this layer, the most important layer perhaps that you want to look at is this rate of natural increase option, because what this allows you to do, again, I'm going to click on India, and it will give me a whole bunch of data about India. And so, for example, it will give me its land area, arable land area, arithmetic population density, physiologic population density, fertility rates, rate of natural increase, net migration, percent urban, and its GNI. Now, in some cases, you notice that total population doesn't have any data. Some of the data isn't there for all the countries, and so you may see some of the things are not there for your country of interest. So that's how you use this one. Again, remember, legend shows me what's there. Layers, I can add or remove layers. And then I have my information option. Okay, that allows me, again, I can click on any one of these and get that pop-up. So you have to pick a country in this. Okay, so that's number 1. Let's go back to our next option here. That's exploring human population. It looks like that. I'm going to scroll down, and you're going to see the next one is the world migration map. Now, this is a rather interesting web application. I'm going to click on it. It's going to open up here. And what this is actually showing you is the overall world flow of migrants, both in and out of a country. And again, we have a zoom option here. And so again, you're going to have picked a country, and I would use the same, obviously use the same country for each of these parts. But for example, let's say you picked Brazil. Well, here's Brazil. And if I click on Brazil, get my little hand over its dot, I can get there. Zoom in a little bit more, make life a little bit easier. You're going to see that little pointer, and when I click on it, what it's going to do is isolate the migration for Brazil. And what you'll notice is that Brazil's population will notice outward migration to Europe, Spain, for example, here. Okay. And you'll notice that then we also have inward migration though. And you'll notice right here that if we look at Brazil, we can see other countries that people are coming to. And one of the ones, of course, that you'll see are not surprisingly, if you kind of track Brazil's movement, is that we have a large population that is immigrating from Japan. Now that's kind of an interesting migration characteristic, and later on when we look at Latin America, you'll see why that's the case. But this allows you to move around and look at overall migration patterns in the world and in regions. Okay, so that's the world migration map. Net migration, again, positives versus negatives. All right, the last map that you're going to be using is similar to the first, but it has a few different things to it. And so again, I'm going to scroll down, and this happens to have the human dimensions of population. This is a story map, and I create several story maps throughout the semester. The advantage of this one, and perhaps this is one that you'll want to start with, is that it explains each of the variables. So again, here I can click on population totals, and it will give me the world population. I can zoom in or out. And so let's say I'm interested in right here, Algeria, and it will tell me the information about its current population, 38 million people, 40 million in 2015, and so its population is going down a little bit. Okay, so again, I can look at current population. I can also look at population density. And again, similar to the map on our other one, this gives you some information in terms of what types of settlements are there. Again, if we were to zoom in, we were to look at Algeria, one of the questions that I'm going to ask you is to describe the distribution of population. Well, in Algeria, you'll notice that almost all the population is along the northern coast. I'm going to ask you to hypothesize why. Okay. Now, each one of these tabs has information on its component and allows you to click on an area and get the information for it. So there's its birth rates, its death rates, and its total fertility. So you can use each one of these to in part answer your questions and use them to the degree that you feel is necessary to answer the quickwrite assignments. Okay, that's it. Put your quickwrite assignments together. Remember, it should be approximately 1 page, not much more than that. And if you're looking at other sites to perhaps make some hypotheses as to why the population is the way it is, please simply put the URLs that you used at the end of the document. Okay, that's it for our quickwrite instructions. We'll see you next week.